Right, so in today's video, I'm finally going to be getting on and scarifying this lawn for the first time, or should I say, I'm going to be verticutting it for the first time too. But before we actually talk about the differences between those two things, let's first talk about why am I getting on with the scarifier and scarifying this space. That's the first question you should always ask yourself before you do anything in the garden, is why. It's not about chucking down anything for the sake of it. It's about being intentional about what we do. So the question is then, why am I scarifying this space today? And it's mainly because it's developed a little bit of thatch over the past few months, ever since I laid it down. With the nature of the type of lawn it is, being a bent fescue lawn, it's always going to create a little bit more thatch than a ryegrass lawn is. And you can kind of feel it a little bit underfoot, where it does feel a tad spongy in spaces. It's not like a bouncy castle sort of thing, don't get me wrong, it's not horrendous, but there is a little bit of thatch in there. So that's why I'll be scarifying the space today. But at the same time, I'm going to be verticutting it too. There's lots of different things online about the differences between the two. And if I was running a golf course now, I think those differences would be a little bit more important, I guess, to what I'm trying to achieve. But this isn't a golf green, it probably never ever will be. So the difference between those two processes isn't really as important. If you think about a scarifier, it's a blade that cuts vertically into the lawn and rips out thatch. A verticutter is a blade that cuts vertically into the lawn, and it's used as a pruning device. It's designed to cut stolons, it's designed to cut rhizomes as well. And that's key with this type of lawn, because the more you cut this lawn, the thicker it becomes. And when you verticut this lawn as well, when you vertically actually cut the space, you cut those stolons, you cut those rhizomes, and you create more parent plants than what you started with, and that encourages it to become even thicker and thicker. So even though I'm going to be thinning the sward out today, it's going to naturally thicken itself back up. And now I do know there are some physical differences between scarifying cartridges and verticutting cartridges, and often verticutters have much thinner blades. However, the scarifier I've picked up recently has really thin blades, so it's going to do two jobs for the price of one. But before we get on scarify and verticut this space, let's get the mower, let's give it a cut, let's bring the level down ever so slightly. So there we go, not a massive amount off the lawn, but for a lawn this size, that's fairly significant. So this is the scarifier we're going to be using today to scarify and verticut the lawn. It's just a simple iron helm machine. Picked this up recently from Toolstation, and the reason why I went with this one is because, one, it's, in terms of cordless scarifiers, it's cheap. It's not cheap, it's 200 quid, but you know, for the price of some scarifiers, that's not too bad. The fact that it's cordless, I've got two batteries with it, and also the blades, they're quite thin. And they've also got a little bit of a point at the end, so they're a little bit better at nicking things like stolons and rhizomes. Some scarifiers aren't as good at verticutting the lawn because they are quite blunt and they're quite wide, whereas these being quite sharp and quite thin means that it's almost doing two jobs for the price of one. And it just means it's a bit more versatile for all the different lawns that I've got as well. I don't usually recommend putting on the actual basket. This didn't even come with one, to be honest, because they're just a nightmare. They fill up after about 5 seconds and you spend half your life going to the wheelie bin and back. So yeah, let's get the batteries for this, let's get on, let's scarify it. Now, I'm not sure how I've done this, I've just noticed this. I must have scuffed it with my heel when I was doing the edging, but just look how tall that grass there actually is. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're verticutting this lawn now, is because this lawn doesn't just grow vertically. If you've got a ryegrass lawn, most of your lawn's going to be grown upright, and the only reason you're going to verticut it is just to clear out that sward a little bit. But with this type of grass, it's grown vertically. When I cut this every few days, not a lot of grass comes off, and that's not because the grass isn't growing. It is, it's just growing that way instead of that way. So we've got two 18-volt batteries, which obviously aren't the most powerful batteries known to humanity, but together they're going to give us a bit of a stronger output. And this lawn isn't one that's absolutely riddled to death with thatch. There's only a small amount really in this. This is plenty enough power for me. I'm going to keep it on the highest setting to begin with. Now, it's always best to go in sort of an alternate direction to where you usually mow. Because of the shape of this lawn and because of where we sit and how the stripes look, I'm always striping up going this way. So instead, I'm going to go across the lawn in a different pattern today, just to make sure that it stands up as many of those grass plants as possible. Do you know what? I've got a ferric scarifier in the garage, and this on the highest setting just does the perfect job. I mean, I don't even think I need to take it any lower than it actually is. If I just get you in close now, you'll be able to see. I mean, first of all, there's a ridiculous amount of thatch knocking about. This is what you're after, cutting these little channels into the lawn. It's doing a couple of things. It's taking up the thatch, like I said, nicking those rhizomes and stolons. And I think that's probably why I had a little bit of disease in this lawn about a month ago, because look at all of that. I mean, this space is only about 12 square metres. That is an unbelievable amount of thatch and amount of growth that's actually come off and out of the lawn. Now, I know some people are going to comment on this video and say to me that I don't know what I'm talking about, and the fact that I've only scarified it, I've not actually verticut the lawn, it was too aggressive. No, it's fine, I've removed some of the thatch. And the reason why we know we've actually verticut the lawn is because, let's just get up close and see what it's actually made up of. There's so much green growth in there, and the green stuff that we can see, that isn't thatch. That's all the lateral growth that we've had across this space. So I'm going to do one more pass across the space. This time I'm going to go the same way that I usually cut, just to make sure that I've cut as much of that lateral growth as possible. Last thing I'm going to do is just give this lawn a feed, because it will recover by itself anyway, but putting a feed on now just means that's going to recover a little bit more quickly. And because we've made a few little spaces here and there in the lawn, we want those spaces to be filled by the existing grass plants rather than any weed grasses that might take the opportunity now to try and get into the lawn. For anyone who is wondering, that was just a little bit of true grass that I put down there. And believe it or not, it's only the second time that this lawn has been fed since it was freshly laid back in May. Right, so it's been about a week now since we actually got on and scarified this space and give it that verticut, and so far it's looking pretty decent. You'll notice that there are a few places knocking about which aren't fully, recovered yet, such as this little patch down at the front, and there's a little patch over at the side there, and the other little part towards the back as well. And that's completely to be expected at this time within the process. You've got to remember what we were saying towards the start of the video about scarification and about verticutting. What you're intending to do is thin out that sward, you're pruning the plants, and you're removing a little bit of that thatch as well. And whenever you're doing anything like this, it's quite an aggressive process that you're putting your lawn through, but you've got to remember it's for the overall health of the plants. And doing it this time of year now, it gives this lawn plenty of time to recover. And if I just bring it in close to the sward now, you can see that we've still got a really nice dense sward knocking about. Now, I do know that I'm going to get a few comments about the differences between verticutting and scarification, and yes, they are slightly different to an extent, but the process is almost identical in a way. There's very little differences between them. And I know people are going to want to go out and buy actual verticular cartridges where you get really tiny thin blades, and there's about 20 of them along the actual cylinder. And I think at some point I'm going to pick one up myself, but I think spending over £400 for the attachments for my Alec mower really isn't in the budget at the moment. So I've kind of had to work with what I've got, and it just shows you that if you get on with the right kind of scarifier, you can do exactly what you're intending to do to your lawn. So thanks for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like. And if you'd like to follow along with any more videos like this, I've got plenty of autumn lawn care stuff coming up in the next few weeks. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. As ever, the Instagram is in the description below. And finally, thanks for watching.